The Daily Purge. How you doing today? Hope you're doing fantastic. Today we're talking about moving on to what you really want and why now is the best time than ever, and why it's important to move right now. Everyone says, yeah, you got to move, got to move, got to move, but then says, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, as you know. So why even pretend that you're going to do it when you're not going to do it anyway? Why? Because of your fear. Maybe you're scared of success. You're scared of failure. You're scared of whatever. But the point is this: no one's going to do it for you. Right? No one's going to do it for you. It's time for you to do it yourself. It's time for you to jump up and make it happen. Even the things that you think that you can't do, you just got to make it happen. Like the best way to get started is just to get started. People think that's funny and it's obvious, but it's so obvious that most people don't even do it. And it's key that when you do decide to do something, that you take that action immediately and don't I'll sleep on it and see what happens, because you sleep on it, life happens. Right. And when life happens, you end up not doing what you were planning to do in the first place. So, I'm not sitting here telling you, guru wise and none of that stuff. I'm just saying what worked for me is I've always done what I wanted to do my whole life. I've done what I wanted to do. Come hell or high water. It didn't matter how much risk it was. I never really cared about security. Sometimes it got to me. Like when I was homeless in 2008, that sort of got to me then. But there's a lot of ways that we can look at securing moving forward. If you're doing something right now that you don't really like and you want to move on, what's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, you were, Tammy? Awesome. Hey, Olga, how you doing? Good evening. So there's a lot of ways to move forward. So you can continue doing what you're doing right now and dedicate. Thanks, man. And what you can do right now is set time aside to make sure that you drive on a little bit on what you're doing. What you want to do, and not just what you're doing, right? And people say, well, I don't have time. Make the time. Make the time. It's just like for fitness. You got to make time to stay healthy. You got to make time to eat healthy. You got to make time to go to the gym or whatever it is that you do, running or jogging or whatever it is that you do. Go hit. There you go. Right? So, people ask me all the time, like, how do you get along without not having any financial security as far as regular paycheck? And for me, it's always about, well, as long as I'm moving forward, I know I'm moving towards something. Number one. Number two, that's scarcity mindset. And I refuse scarcity mindset completely and wholly and fully. That the abundance mindset, exactly. People make time for what they value. So true. Yes, indeed. So what do you value, right? What is it that you want to move forward on? And why aren't you started yet? The quickest way to get started is to ask somebody who's already been there and done that. Reach out and do that. Get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, get yourself a trainer, somebody who's going to help you move forward on that. There's plenty of them out there. Heck, I'm a coach, right? So, I'm more of a consultant, but it always turns into coaching because you take care of the perceived problem in your business, and it ends up being typically a personal or self-leadership issue, which is why we wrote the book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha. So, there's nothing stopping you but you. There's nothing stopping you but that fear. There's nothing stopping you except for that feel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate it. So there's not much else out there that will stop you besides you. And of course, there's as many reasons as you have not to start, or as many reasons you have to start. You can always do the flip side. Why can't I start? Well, what are the things that are stopping me? This, that, and that. Well, could they be the things that could also take me there? Of course they can. It's all about you driving forward. Can you invest another hour a day in whatever you're doing to try to drive that? I love talking to people that are at that stage in life, that pivot stage in life. We're like, okay, I want to move and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. How do I do it? What do I do? And here's the one tip that I'll give everybody. And this will solve your problems. A lot of them. This, if you have a product or a service and you sit down and you really go into it and you make it the best product service you've ever had, and then you go out and look for who's going to buy it, you're going to have a heck of a time. What you want to do is ask yourself this question: what market problem is my company created to solve? Right? What market problem is my company created to solve? Now, if you think of it that way, then you're going to see the world in a whole different light. You're flipping it on its head. What problems are you solving? Look for the problems in your niche area. Look for the problems in the things that in something that you already know. Like if you're, an engineer, the engineer space, what's going on. What are the problems that you can actually solve in the engineer space that wouldn't take you much work at all to solve? You just need to create the service or the product that solves that problem. So look for the problems first. Solve the problems with a product or service. That's the quickest way to go about it, right? Because you want to go out there and you want to be the one that people go to solve that problem. Number two is be the problem solver, period. You don't have to know everything, right? You don't have to know everything. You just have to know somebody who knows something, right? Like people's like, how do you solve everybody's problems? It's like, I don't. I just find people who do. And I hook them up. I introduce them. I help them, form partnerships or collaborations or joint ventures. There's a guy I met on Clubhouse. He's doing a project in Pennsylvania, in my hometown. There you go, brother. He's doing a $60 million project in my hometown. I introduced him to some fund people, and now they're starting a fund for him, of which I'm part. Right, so I profit from that introduction. Why? Because I heard the guy. He sounded passionate. He really wanted to make something happen, and I know people who can make it happen. So I made the introduction, and boom, there you go. Right. So these are all the things that I like to do. I love solving problems, and my unique situation is that because I solve so many problems for so many people, I get paid for that. Right. It isn't just the coaching that I do. It isn't just the people that I help turn their business around and turn it into profitability. It isn't just the coaching that Lane and I do for the Humble Alpha or the college course that we do. Right. But it's people like, how can you do so many things? It's not. It's one thing. I'm helping people solve their problems. That's it. So what problem are you going to solve with your product or service? And how can you get it out there and make it happen? Now, looking for those people who you're solving the problem for, where do they hang out? Go find them. Got to find them on Facebook. Heck, the one connection I made on Facebook is the one who gave us the ability to set up the investment fund. So, I mean, it's just one comment on a Facebook page. Right? Turning connections into cash. Exactly. But you're turning those connections into cash through solving their problems. You have to make sure that you're solving the problem with such over delivery that they're going to be like, man, I have to take this guy. I have to work with this guy or this gal. I have to. All right. I hope it helped you out today. It was a real simple one today, real simple, but massively powerful. And I know that it will help you create a life that you want to live, and it'll get you out of that slump, out of that mundane that you might be in, you might be hating, but you got to do it yourself. No one's going to do it for you. And nor should they, nor should they. You don't get your power and accountability through other people doing it for you. Right. So it's up to you. You make it happen. All right. Can we make a deal that you're going to start making it happen starting today? I'd like to make that deal. Here you go. All right, everybody, you have a fantastic one. And remember what we always say, it's all about quality of life. We'll see you tomorrow.